Hey guys, welcome to a demo. Today this is going to be Photoshop 8 Tools panel number 1. So over the next few weeks we'll end up learning these different aspects within the Tools panel within Photoshop. So let's go ahead and get right into it. I'm going to start from the top left, like up there, and then I'm going to work my way across the top row here. So we'll start with Move, we'll go to the Elliptical Marquee, Rectangular Marquee, and then the brush tool. I'll take a pause, then I'll create another video, and we'll go into these lower little assignments. So zooming in, if I hold Alt, I can scroll forward. This one, it's pretty basic. So I've got, if you notice on the side, we've got layer 10, which is kind of like the background layer, and then you can see a layer that's right above it called the soccer ball layer. And so that's basically where the soccer ball is. So if you take your Move tool, the main thing I want you to see is you can click once, then click and drag. You can actually move items that are on different layers by selecting the Move tool and then actually clicking on the object and moving it. So that's kind of a way to just take this thing and move it around. So what you can do is, it's on the ground, maybe put it up in the sky. There you go, you learned how to move something. Something that's also helpful too is if you hold Alt and click and drag, you can see you're also copying the ball. So you'll notice as well in the layers, it's ended up creating another layer. I'm going to go Control Z, but we'll be showing how to Alt click drag in one of the other little mini assignments. So Elliptical Marquee tool. Something I also want you to see in this file is that right below the tool, you also see this magenta letter or red letter. This is going to refer to the hotkey for that letter, so you can just type that letter and it will select that tool. Something that's also helpful is within the little assignment, you can also see there's some kind of reminders as to what you do to deselect an object, and also how you can actually fill with your foreground or background colors. So I'm going to change my foreground color, which you can see right here. If I pull up my colors panel in other areas, you're going to see the color or the square that's in front is the foreground color. So I'm going to change this to blue just so I have it, hit OK. And then you can see my background color is set to red. So I'm just going to move it to a bright red. Now, elliptical marquee tool, I hit M to get that. If I click and drag, you can see this is not an ellipse. Now, the main reason why is if you hit M between these two tools, it's going to select whichever marquee tool is currently loaded. So mine is defaulted to the rectangular marquee tool. So if I hit the elliptical marquee tool by clicking and holding on the tool and selecting elliptical marquee tool, it will now load that one. So Control D will deselect. Now if I click and drag, you can see I have a circle. And the thing I wanted to show you here is if you type in Alt backspace, it should fill it with the color that's in the foreground. So you can see Forg color fill Alt backspace. Again, deselect will take the marquee off of that object. Something you can also do is if you hold Alt and Shift, you can click and drag and it'll actually scale from the center of where you click. And so this can be a helpful thing to do as well. I can change my foreground color to something else and do Alt backspace, deselect, Alt Shift, click drag, change my foreground color to, I don't know, maybe do some kind of green or something. Alt backspace, Control D to deselect. And so I've made 3 circles and I've changed my foreground color 3 times and I've filled those 3 circles 3 times using Alt backspace, that keyboard shortcut. If I hold spacebar, I can move to the next location. This one's going to use the rectangular marquee tool. So again, I have to go to my tools panel, and because it's preloaded to the elliptical, I need to select the rectangular marquee tool. And just as you would expect, you can click and drag out. In this case though, I want to show you how to do the background color, which is Control backspace. So you can see there's a difference between that foreground and background color. Alt backspace does the foreground color. Control backspace, you can see it's red here. It's going to fill it with the background color. Sometimes you may need to do that, and instead of like selecting the color and trying to like go up to edit, fill, you can actually just type in that keyboard shortcut. Control D to deselect. I'm then going to alternate between my foreground and background color, so maybe I'll make this like, I don't know, some like yellow color. Then I'll do Alt backspace, so that's foreground color. Control D. Now I'm going to go here, Control backspace, Control D, select, Alt backspace, Control D, make a selection, Control backspace, Control D, make a selection, Alt backspace, Control D. So again, like I'm changing my selections, I'm deselecting, and then I'm alternating between my foreground and background color. So I would just go until you get a handle of how to deselect and also toggle between your foreground and background colors. So there you go. Kind of creates a neat optical illusion. Last piece in this row, we're going to bring out our brush tool so you can see hotkey B, and then down at the bottom here you can see plus or minus. To make the brush bigger or smaller, you use the brackets. So if I increase or decrease, that ends up changing the bracket size. Right now I've got like a soft yellow brush, so Van Gogh's eyes are getting a little fuzzy and yellow. Again, if I go up to my options bar, I can have all kinds of different brushes here. Again, I'm just going to go to the Kyle Ultimate Pencil brush, and I'll change my color to like a black. I'm going to go Control Z to take those yellow marks off his eyes. I'm going to increase my brush just a little bit, and I'm going to give Van Gogh some glasses. That's weird. Let's see here. Not entirely sure why that's not working. Maybe I have some, oh, I have something selected. Ooh, that's really good to know. So here, if you notice, this has a selection right there, and I'm like trying to mark, and you notice it's not marking. If I draw in there though, hey, look, I'm actually making a drawing inside of that selection. So again, if you, like what I'm gonna do is actually draw on his face. I need to make sure everything is deselected. That's good to do a refresher on, or to actually know for the first time. Okay, so let's make glasses for Van Gogh. So there we go. You can drop his brush size, go behind the ear there. There we go. Maybe make the arms go back a little bit. I'll just give like a little corner that indicates they're going that way. And give them a little nose rest. There we go. So there we go. Van Gogh's got a new set of glasses. They look amazing. I love it. I'm going to eyedrop the background. I'm going to reduce the brush size. And I can do some kind of like partial streaks across the eyes here. Makes it almost look like it's reflecting light a little bit. I don't know. That looks pretty stupid. Last thing I want you to do is take a dark color again, and then take out your brush tool. Make the brush not super big, Then I want you to sign the work. So like, there we go. I'm gonna put my signature as if I were modifying this piece of work and then calling it my own. That's where we're gonna stop with this demo, and I'll continue with the second video at a later point. Later, guys.